Hey guys, Lyra Linx here. Today I'm bringing you my first anime review. I've been wanting to get into reviewing for a while, but I hate rating things and I feel like I'm not that great at it, so I had to find a system that worked for me. I'm not sure how it'll go and I'm probably going to change up this formula the next time I try this, but I just wanted to get a sense for reviewing before I do a certain review that a certain someone has been asking for a while. So today I'll be looking at CubexCursedxCurious, or C Cubed shortened. As I was looking through what anime I wanted to watch next, I looked through one of my anime magazines, Otaku USA, and stared for a while at the page for CubexCursedxCurious. While the anime didn't receive a coveted recommended label from them, I still thought that the art was very cute and it caught my interest anyway. The main story as read on Wikipedia goes, the story begins with high school student Yachi Haruaki receiving a mysterious super heavy black cube from his overseas archaeologist father. That night, Haruaki wakes to a suspicious noise in the kitchen and discovers a stark naked young girl with blue hair stealing rice crackers. The girl introduces herself as Fear, and Haruaki comes to the conclusion that she is the cube that his father had sent. Fear explains that she is a cursed tool, objects which were used in the past by humans to fill out their evil desires. Over time, they began to possess human attributes at a great price, which include gaining human emotions and hurting others without control. Haruaki assures her that he is immune to any curse that she might give him, and vows to help out by getting rid of her curse. Allied with next-door neighbor Konoha Muramasa and the strict class representative Kirika Ueno, they try to help her remove her curse, but in the process get involved in many dangerous organizations and other cursed tools incidents. While at first I was attracted to this series by a certain air of mystery and thinking there would be a great deal of action, I found myself slightly disappointed. While all plot summaries make anime sound epic, the reality is usually brutal. Of course, I expected there to be some fan service after reading a description that Fear is naked upon first encounter, but as I went through the entirety of this series, only 12 episodes long, I found that there was so much fan service so unnecessarily and ungracefully executed that it outright irritated me at points. The plot was often thrown out the window and not taken as seriously because of this, and if I had known that the show had so much, it would have made me not want to watch it as much. I don't necessarily hate fan service, but I definitely didn't like the delivery at some points. However, I will say that there were times it was very funny when the right character made jokes. Other than that, I like the concept of these cursed tools fueled by human hatred and desire. There are some moments where you can see some true evil from the tools, and it makes the scenes look very cool. I just wish it had been a larger focus. Haruaki Yachi. Haruaki Yachi is our main protagonist, and he falls into stereotypical protagonist design, looking a bit unoriginal. Although I do like his character, Haruaki lives in a blessed area that drives away curses, and he himself is immune to them, which makes him the perfect candidate to take in cursed tools, which he does. He seems to be very strong and always pushes to help others, even when they seem lost. Fear Kubrick. Fear is a cursed tool that came in the form of the cube, and she was actually made to be used as a torture device. She is very ignorant of how the world works in day-to-day life, and needs a lot of help from her friends. While she seems cute at first, the darkness and yearning to injure humans within her often takes over, and it can drive her insane if she isn't watched. Konoha Muramasa. Konoha Muramasa is another cursed tool who has been at the Yachi compound for a long time. Her form is a katana. She is somewhat of a childhood friend to Haruaki, and has very obvious feelings for him. He often uses her to defend in a fight, but does not expose her to blood, since if she spills blood, she'll faint at the sight of it. Kirika Ueno. Kirika Ueno is the character I took a lot of interest in immediately. At first she seems unimportant and maybe a little mysterious. She is the student council president and happens by many tool incidents even though she doesn't seem to have a place there. Her importance and the truth behind her is discovered later on, in a very fan-servicey way. Kuroe Ningyohara. Kuroe Ningyohara is yet another cursed tool in the form of a doll that appears later in the series as she returns to the Yachi compound. Her hair can move freely like tentacles, and she can use them to bring healing to others. I think she has one of the cutest designs. She runs a hair salon and sometimes eats people's hair to gain life energy. She often makes many unwholesome jokes as well. Though I am not very skilled at reviewing anime critically, when looking at these characters, I tried to ask myself questions like, are they important enough that the series couldn't exist without them? And I found that some of the characters weren't strong enough to have a need to remain. While Kotonoha is useful for acting as Haruaki's blade, it would have been the same for him to use an actual weapon. She does not seem to have any real personality besides being the cute, big-breasted, jealous girl next door. Her aversion to blood also makes her more frustrating since she doesn't seem to be combat ready anyway. And as much as I love Kuroe, she doesn't really need to exist at all, though I'd want her to stay, and healing can always be useful. As for the rest, while they can stay, there are many pros and cons. Haruaki is a good person that I like, but his character is cliché. He is the main protagonist that never gives up on his friends, even if they're hurt. That's nice, but his actions are predictable. Kirika is a very interesting character, and I left the series wanting to know more about her, but a lot of the seriousness of her character and situation is downplayed by what she wears. As for Fear, while her antics are adorable and funny, she often rushes carelessly into situations, and her naivete in some areas can be frustrating. While this might seem to be a slightly odd category, I had some things to say about the two main antagonists in this series. So much about their actions bothers me, and I feel like it should be mentioned to anyone who wants to watch the series. This anime seems to be very rushed in general, so it's no wonder that the villains and their actions didn't really end up making sense in the grand scheme of things. The first villain you are introduced to is just an annoying broken record player that says the word bitch constantly and unnecessarily. She also states that she hates cursed tools, but that proves largely hypocritical when she ends up using one. While she throws up out of her hatred for using it, it never really seems to bother her again, and I thought the whole point of her character was to rid of them. Then there's a second main antagonist. She states that she wants to live in harmony with the cursed tools and give them a happy life, but again, we are met with a very hypocritical antagonist who attacks the tools despite seeming pacifistic at first. Her motives don't seem to make much sense. Honestly, these villains really frustrated me, and I felt that there were better ways to portray them. As for the art style of this anime, it is very cute and anime-like, which attracted me to it in the first place. The gorgeous colors and sweet oversized anime eyes made it very pretty to watch. I do have to say that it doesn't always fit the mood, though. All in all, while I love the art style of CubexCursedxCurious and think many of the characters and plot points are interesting and worth watching as a whole, I wouldn't really say that I recommend it to the general public. The pacing is extremely rushed, which throws off from the feel of some of the most emotional scenes that I wanted to take in more, and again, the fan service seems odd and excessive to me. What I thought could be a potentially emotional and adorable show was far too sporadic and frustrating to fully enjoy. While I feel many problems could be fixed with a longer series, which I would have appreciated to flesh out more plot questions left unanswered, the show is lacking. If you like the style and have no problem with lolly fangirl service and fights that are more hilarious than anything else, then CubexCursedxCurious is for you, though I think it would be fine to glance over.